great podcasts? Do you love great Australian podcasts? Of course you do. Australians make incredible podcasts. And if you want to stay up to date with the best Australian shows, then check out Oz Podcasts. Look for us on social media and find your new favourite show from the Australian podcast directory on ozpodcast.com.au. That's OZPODCASTS, ozpodcast.com.au. Check it out.
If you like new stuff before anybody else, if you like to keep your finger on the pulse, if you like the future and want to be in it, keep on listening because we'll start in a minute. Tech Webcast. The hosts and guests are unsurpassed. Tech Webcast. Because technology, it moves so fast. Tech Webcast. Ha, stick around and you're gonna have a blast. Yeah! Tech Webcast. Ha, ha. Tech Webcast. Let's go!
And it's a very sunny Melbourne. Welcome to Tech Webcast episode 333, recorded on the 16th of May 2015. Tech Webcast is recorded every Saturday at midday Melbourne time. Please rate us on iTunes and like us at facebook.com/techwebcast. Follow us on Twitter at TechWebcast. And be sure to download the new Tech Webcast iPhone app from the iTunes Store. Your hosts today are Brad, Jody, Jennifer, Steve, Jacob, and myself, Andrew. Sitting in with us today, Tech Webcast favourites Bryce Ballista and the man in the van, Craig Shipp. Our very special guest is John Voshell from johnvoshell.com, who's here to talk about discovering indie musicians. That was a long intro. How are you, Brad?
Andrew, how are you, mate? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm very well, buddy. I'm very well, thank you.
Good stuff. Long time no speak. What's new?
Oh, it has been a long time. Had a bit going on lately and was a little unwell a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, a few things. What's new? There's always lots new. My son Miles actually turned 1 this week, so that's quite interesting. It doesn't feel like a year, but it is. So sleepless nights and all those sorts of things. But it's worth it. You know, he's a good little boy and he's growing and doing all the cool things. Started walking last weekend. So, yeah, so it's been a good time.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. And what did you get up to for his birthday?
Oh, okay. We bought him this sort of chair, like a Fisher-Price thing, and it's got little buttons and music and stuff like that. So we've sort of been playing with that, and we bought him a blanket that has his name sort of wound into the blanket itself, so it's printed, and that's a single bed blanket. So hopefully he'll have that for some years to come, and you know, there's a few other little bits and pieces and things. So we've got some family coming down tomorrow, so we're gonna, you know, have a few people around and celebrate. So it should be a lot of fun.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Good to have you back on, Andrew. Let's go to Bryce. Welcome back, Bryce. How's your week been, and what's new with you, mate?
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I'm going good. Pretty much same old. But since we last spoke, I actually got the MacBook, and also I actually upgraded my internet, which is fantastic. So if anyone's listening and is on cable internet, apparently there's something called the Super Speed Boost.
Yeah,
that's its actual name.
Yeah,
and
Telstra?
Telstra. Yeah. And it's like $20 more a month, and my internet speeds went to 100 Mbps download. Right. So it is incredible. So I'm pretty happy at the moment.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. And how's the new MacBook?
It's good. I like it.
What about the Apple Watch? You gonna get the Apple Watch yet, or?
Yeah, I had a look at it in the store, and not too taken with it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Cool. You should have one soon. I hope you do.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, mine's coming soon, so I should have mine in 6 weeks, something maybe.
Yeah, when are you getting yours?
6 weeks, mate.
Yeah.
6 weeks, so hopefully you should get mine soon.
Cool.
All right, thanks, Bryce, for being on. Let's go to Jennifer. How's your week been, and anything new with you, Jen?
Hi, Brad. Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've been on. I was on a trip out of town for the past couple of weeks, so this week I'm back home and I've been playing catch up. So you know what it's like when you're gone for a few weeks. It's just, so there's a lot to catch up on. But yeah, things are going fine. I've been using my latest device has been the Galaxy S6 Edge, and I've been really happy playing with that device, and it's quite brilliant. I'm surprised actually how great it is. And that's about it. Nothing else. Nothing too exciting.
Good stuff. And you also met Craig Shipp.
I met Craig Shipp, and I was supposed to meet him again last weekend on my way back, but I ended up driving straight through instead, so I missed that opportunity.
I wasn't meeting Craig Shipp. What's it like meeting him in real person?
He's
real life?
Awesome. He's so friendly and such a gentleman and so nice and smart, and he taught me how to use the camera.
Oh.
And so it was really fun. We had a great time. We went on top of the roof of the Marriott and took pictures, and it was fun.
Is that where he lives? Does he live there?
He lives on the roof of the Marriott, yes.
Really?
No, no. He lives in a neighboring town. We should ask him. I think he's
here.
on the
He's
show
here.
with
Let's
us.
ask him.
Yeah,
let's
welcome.
Ask him.
Hello. Hey.
How are you, mate?
The check's in the mail, Jennifer. For all those kind words. I think
funny.
I should just leave it at that. I mean, how can I top all that?
I don't know.
There's not much more you can say about yourself when someone comes in like that.
That's right. But I do have an Apple Watch on my wrist.
How do you like it, Craig?
So there's that. Oh, I absolutely love it. Absolutely. And let me tell you, the first day or two I had it, I was on the fence. I was actually considering selling it. And then every day I've had it since, and I've had it like almost 3 weeks now, it has just gotten better and better and better. It is just epic. And I have some fantastic wristwatches, okay? And they're all parked. They're all gathering dust now. This thing has gotten all my wrist time, and it's just so useful, so powerful that I can't imagine that they're going to actually, in a couple of years, come out with one that's even better. It's that good.
I've heard that the
thing. And this isn't what most of the pundits have said, by the way. This is the opposite of what most of them have said. And I think that they're just, I don't know what they're thinking about, because this thing, compared to anything else that you can put on your wrist, there's nothing that will even come close to touching it.
Yeah. And the call quality is pretty decent too. At least when you make a call from it, the people can hear you quite well, which is
absolutely, nice. Absolutely. And it's just so useful to have it just tickle your wrist and be able to turn your wrist and see who's sending you a text message and decide whether or not it's something you really have to deal with or not. And I'm out and about a lot, and a lot of times I have a camera in my hand. I don't want to have to fumble for my phone, right? If I can just glance on my wrist and see what's going on, and then I can decide, is it something I need to deal with now, or is it something I can deal with later? If it's a phone call coming in, same thing. I can see who's calling. And I can decide whether or not to take it real quick and say, I'll call you back or whatever, or just let it go into voicemail. It's just so convenient. I'm just not going to have to wrestle for my phone anymore. I'm done with that. And I'm going to get a bigger phone now too, because I didn't want to get the big phone because I still have a 5S. And because I use it with one hand all the time, I wasn't going to get one of the bigger phones. But now this is going to free me up to get a 6 Plus because nice. I don't mind now having a big phone, because most of the time I'm not going to have to fumble for it.
Craig, are you going to wait until the fall for the next
I'll wait for the new
device?
phone. Yeah, absolutely. I'll wait for the new phone. But my point is now this is going to free me up to get a big phone now, because I'll be able to do most of the things when I'm out and about, my hands are full or whatever. I'll be able to do most of the things that I would normally have to fumble for the phone for. I can just glance at my wrist and take care of it. And so I can have the big phone like somewhere in my kit, stashed away in a pocket or whatever, and only take that out when I have a time to sit down and really do some things. And otherwise I can just do kind of everything on the watch. I just think it's tremendously enabling and a tremendous tool. If you're, and I always need to know what time it is. Everybody says, well, I don't wear a watch. I have a phone. Why do I need a watch, right? Well, the last thing I want to do when I'm in the middle of a shoot is have to dig out my phone and see what time it is, because I know I need to meet somebody in 15 minutes at a certain spot where I'm covering an event or something. I want to be there at the right time when I said I was going to interview that person, and I don't want to have to dig out my phone and be looking for the time. I want to just glance at my wrist and know that I'm on time. So I do a lot of things that are time sensitive. So I guess people that don't do anything that's time sensitive throughout the day, then they don't need to worry about it. But it's a watch, and then it's so much more than that I just don't understand these people that don't see how useful it is. And I was going to just do the review on the thing and sell it. I had no intentions of keeping it initially. But I'm not selling it now, and I could have sold it at a significant profit several times. I had people offering me.
So, Craig, what model of Apple Watch did you get, mate? Just real quick, and not to be on the joke.
I have the Apple Watch, the regular stainless steel one with the plastic, whatever you call the rubber band.
Oh yeah, yep. It's the
sport edition.
Sport edition.
No, it's not the sport. No, I have the Apple Watch.
Oh really? Oh, okay, nice.
Stainless steel Apple Watch.
Nice. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's go to Jody. Welcome back, Jody. How's your week been?
Hey, Brad. It's been a very good week. A lot of stuff going on here. No dog shows this week, so it's been quiet in that arena. But no, I'm fascinated with the Apple Watch, to be honest. And I loved the video that you posted, Brad, with the senior citizens.
Yes, very funny.
That was hysterical. Yeah.
Very funny. Love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be getting one soon, Jody.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I wasn't going to, and now I'm kind of leaning towards it. But, I might wind up getting a 6S instead.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Let's go to Jacob. Welcome, Jacob. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good, Brad.
What have you been up to, mate?
Nothing. Testing out an app which I'm using right now.
What's it called?
Duet.
Duet, yes.
Duet for extra iPad screen. I'm using it for the show notes for the show right now.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yes, indeed.
All right, and one thing I do like about it.
What do you like about it?
Touchscreen. Like if my mouse is on my main screen, I could just touch the screen and it'll go right to it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, right now, I just clicked a tab on my iPad, and it went right to one of my news stories.
So that's Duet, and that is available in the Apple App Store.
For $10.
For $10. Okay.
It's worth it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Especially if Brad's buying it.
Yeah, especially if I'm buying it. Yeah. I pay anything for it. Let's go to Steve. How's your week been, Steve?
It's been good. I don't know if really a lot's been going on lately, but actually, I'm fixing to do an event here at the American Bank Center, so I'm looking forward to that. So
cool, man. Good stuff. All right. We got John on today. Welcome, John. First time on the podcast. You're a guest today, mate.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Good to have you on, mate. Do you know Craig Shipp?
I believe I've met Craig a couple years ago on Google+.
In a hangout?
Yeah.
Craig Shipp, do you know John?
I think I do remember him. I remember his voice for sure.
Okay. All right. He does music and stuff. Does music. So what do you do, John? Give us a quick background on what you do.
Well, basically, I just try to get indie musicians out to new fans by doing interviews with them, letting fans know a little bit more about the musicians, not only their music, but their personal lives and things they enjoy outside of music.
Oh, nice one, mate. Did you deal with Daria Musk at all?
I've done a couple hangouts with Daria when I first got started.
Okay.
Since I branched out on my own, my main goal was to do 3 interviews a week. So I post new interviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a different artist.
Oh, nice. Good stuff.
Very cool. I love indie music, so
yeah,
I'm all about it.
Yeah, I love music. Yeah, music's great. Okay, let's go to the news stories then, Jody and Jennifer.
And welcome to this portion of Tech Webcast where we talk about the news. Well, in an interesting turn of events, there's these new gadgets that they come out with. This first one that we're going to talk about has to do with quantifying smells. It's a little gadget that you place on your back pocket, and it tests, for lack of a better word, the emanations that come from your rear end. What's kind of interesting about the app that goes with this little device is that it works with an iPhone, and you tell the device what you've had to eat, and then it monitors your emissions, and then it helps you to determine what foods you possibly should be staying away from. So it's an interesting concept. A little bit stinky, but definitely interesting. So, Jen, what else do we have in the news?
That's quite funny. So also in the news, this story is coming from tvtonight.com.au, and it is about Netflix. And they're saying that Foxtel is actually still ahead of Netflix in the subscription race. Now, Pocketbook Australia last week suggested that Netflix had actually overtaken Foxtel as Australia's leading subscription service, and has now qualified its blog after Foxtel figures discredited the numbers. So last week, Pocketbook actually claimed that they did pass Foxtel, Netflix, and evidently they were wrong. And to quote what was written on the company's blog, says, "We have adjusted our claims that Netflix is the leading subscription service today compared to Foxtel upon learning that Foxtel's business customers contribute only 1% of their 2.8 million customer base. We believe it is unlikely that Netflix has already achieved a total user base of 2 million plus subscribers in Australia. However, given the nature of our sample, we believe that our research is an accurate lead indicator for the impending direction of Australia consumer behavior at large. The Pocketbook data reflects transactions for subscription payments to video services taken from a sample of 85,000 Australian Pocketbook customers." And over to you, Jody.
Okay, so just when you thought it was safe to run out and buy a iPhone 6, dun da da da, they're going to come out with an iPhone 6S killer. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. I'm so glad I waited. Craig, you're going to like this. So apparently the things that are going to stay the same are the sizes. You know, the 6S will be the size of the 6 and the 6S Plus, but it's going to feature twice the RAM as the predecessors, a significant processor upgrade to the A9 chipset, a better camera at 12 megapixel rear camera, an improved touch for Apple Pay, and that same Force Touch technology that's seen on the Apple Watch and the Retina MacBook. On the exterior design, they're going to attempt to avoid that bend-gate phenomena, and they're using Series 7000 aluminum, which is approximately 60% stronger than the material that they used in the current iPhones. And also, they're marketing a new color, which is a rose gold. Sounds awesome. I can't wait. Okay, go ahead, Jen. You're up.
Ooh, I'm liking the idea of having a new color introduced. That will be exciting. Yeah. I hope that happens. So, have you ever wanted to turn your Xbox One on before you've even reached the living room? Well, if so, it is time to upgrade your console. Microsoft has released the Xbox One's promised May update, and you now have the option of actually turning on the system or off from the Smart Glass app. Your system will be ready by the time you sit down to play. The refresh also brings voice messages to the One, and it enables dedicated chat servers rolling out in the weeks ahead. And it is not a gigantic update, but it is a big deal if you are impatient or hate typing with a gamepad. So be sure to check out the update if you have an Xbox One. And over to you, Jody.
Okay, listen up, glass explorers. You know, Google came out with the wearable Google Glass, and of course, you know, it was a big phenomenon, and then poof, just as quickly as it came, it kind of disappeared. Well, apparently, there's a team that's working on glass, and they're looking at developing smart eyewear and, quote, other related products. We're not quite sure exactly what these other related products might be. Maybe it'll be a watch, maybe not. But they appear to be ramping up hiring for the Glass Group. In recent weeks, the company has posted several job listing ads for the Glass team, including an audio hardware manager, a human factors designer, an RF systems engineer, and a hardware automation engineer. They stopped selling the initial $1,500 version of Glass to consumers in January, following what they call waning interest among consumers and developers. I prefer to call it a huge backlash, but so be it. There are also widespread concerns about the company's potential to infringe on privacy. You remember the people that got pulled over because they were wearing glass when they were driving, people complaining about other patrons in the restaurant wearing glass. And I think our friend Sarah Slocum even got beat up by some people who took her glass from her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they say that, you know, people started referring to glass wearers as glass holes. I don't know where they got that term, but oh well. So they noted it was time for a pause and a strategy reset. The team developing glass was moved out of the Google X Labs. It's now its own group within Google, head by Ivy Ross. And, you know, they're going to try to come up with some new things. Now, in another article, not this one, I also read that they are working on a government technology product that has to use the glass technology. Again, top secret. We don't know a whole lot. But it's interesting that this thing is not yet dead. It's not dead yet. Kick it a few more times. And who knows what they're going to come up with. I'm hoping they come up with something cool. Back to you, Jen.
Okay, thank you, Jody. And next in the news is actually, I love DVR, so I'm actually excited about this one. It's coming from Engadget.com, and it is about the HD Home Run Kickstarter project. Now that Microsoft has announced that it's through with Windows Media Center, what options do you really have to build your own machine for recording, organizing, and watching TV? Well, a new one ready to enter the scene is Silicon Dust's HD Home Run DVR, which recently launched on Kickstarter and is scheduled to arrive this fall. Silicon Dust made a name for itself among home theater PC builders by bringing the devices they need to plug in cable or antenna TV, and with the DVR making its software too. Diving into the crowdfunding effort now will get you early access to software that promises TV how and where you want, all without needing to build a computer to run it. Simply put, the HD Home Run DVR will have you plug a cable or antenna feed into one of the tuners, the boxes or cards that decode TV and turn it into video for playback elsewhere, and then watch TV on a Windows, Mac, or Android. If you want a DVR, then recording to a Windows, Mac, or Linux-based computer is possible. No more taking a slow limited box from your cable company or just living with what's available via on-demand or streaming. And over to you, Jody.
Oh, we'll dash right on over. Amazon has revealed their new Dash, which potentially could change everything. What's Dash? Dash is simply a physical, believe it or not, button that you use to reorder products. So, for example, laundry detergent. You always use Tide. I know I do. But anyway, you would have this in your laundry room, and when you are nearing the end of your Tide, when you push that button, it automatically will reorder the product for you. I think it's brilliant on the part of Amazon, especially, you know, with the 2-day Amazon Prime delivery. I do, unfortunately, a lot of ordering through them. But, you know, for things like Huggies, you know, where people have a need for diapers, possibly dog food, Clorox, other household type products, it could revolutionize the way that we purchase things. And additionally, it could wind up either helping or hurting small businesses, small manufacturing business that is competitive with these products. So yet to see how it's going to turn out. I think I would use it because I think it's cool. And especially like toilet paper or bread and milk, you know? But anyway, back to you, Jen.
All right. Thanks, Jody. And this last story is coming from Rico.net, and it's talking about how rival car makers are focusing on homegrown entertainment systems. But Honda actually is going to bet big on Android. Now, many automakers are building their own in-car entertainment systems as a strategic imperative, but Honda is definitely taking that different approach. The car maker is basing its newest navigation and entertainment systems on Android, starting with this new 2016 Pilot Sport utility vehicle. Now, that's not to say that Honda not want to play a role in building their own system, but they are actually adding value, making sure the apps that run on its system are safe for use in the car and through its custom user interface. And to quote Sugimoto from Honda, even Android devices look pretty different from different manufacturers. You probably can't tell just by looking at that it's actually running Android. Even still, Honda is still something of an anomaly. Most of its rivals prefer an entirely homegrown approach, although building their own systems is hard work and requires some arm pulling to attract developers. Many car manufacturers have seen an investment as critical to avoid ceding a big chunk of car value to Apple or Google. At the end of the day, we don't want to end up in the handset business, says Ford CEO Mark Fields. So like other car makers, Honda is actually supporting Android Auto and Apple's CarPlay, but systems those like that will work as a secondary interface on top of a car maker's entertainment system for those who want to bring their own smartphone and use capabilities instead. However, Honda was the first to join Google's Open Automotive Alliance in January 2014, and Android Auto and Apple's CarPlay debuted a few months later. Roughly 30 car makers have committed to both, and only a few compatible systems have made it onto the road, though many models supporting CarPlay and Android Auto are actually in the works. And that is the news.
Good stuff. Jody and Jennifer, well read. As I said before, you two need to be on TV together.
Thank you.
That'd be a scary show.
That'd be fun. That would be actually fun to watch.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's go to Craig Ship real quick. And Craig, what's your view on them stories, mate?
Well, I'd like the, what are they called? Apple Play or CarPlay or whatever?
CarPlay, yeah.
Apple. I was thinking about having one of the aftermarket units that's available. There's only a few of them available so far. I was thinking about having one installed in my old Toyota pickup because I don't really have a good sound system in that. And just to kind of test it out, I was going to have one installed in that. But I'm just going to wait until a few more of the aftermarket ones come out with a little better selection, and then I'll probably pull the trigger on that. I think that's the way that I would go.
Okay. Good stuff. Craig, anything else you want to mention, mate?
I'll tell you, there's a couple of things that I'd like to see the Apple Watch, a couple improvements. I would like to see Siri be able to talk to you from the watch. You can talk to Siri, and then she puts the answer in print on the screen. She won't talk back to you like she does on the phone. So that would be really good. And trying to think, I know a lot of people listen to your podcast. That's why I'm trying to get my wish list out there. I mean, it's a short list. I mean, that's probably the main thing that I would like to see them add.
Hey, Craig, Scoble recently said that he was frustrated because there was no dim. Is there
no
like
what?
if you're in a dimming function, like if you're in a movie or something like that, is there not a
you can very easily put it into airplane mode.
Okay.
Very easily. So that's one way you can do it. You can hold your whole hand over the screen, and I think that dims it. I haven't tried that, but I was told that would do it. But I would say to people that don't want to be disturbed, I would say the solution is put it in airplane mode.
But then that sort of defeats the purpose. Like if you're at a movie or something and you just want to have a look and see if someone sent you a text, whether you want to get your phone out, airplane mode kind of defeats that.
Well, I mean, you can't have it both ways, right? You're either gonna see it or you're not. I mean, you can dim the brightness of the screen if that's what he's talking about. There's a control where you can dim it down to where it's you can barely see it or something like that. But I mean, the way I see things like that, it's like, hey, before we just had a wristwatch on that told us the time. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants their smartwatch to do everything all of the time for them exactly the way they want to do it, right? Wait a minute now. We didn't even have this capability before. Now, all of a sudden, we want it super custom to our lifestyle and so on and so forth. So, I mean, if you're in a situation where you don't want to disturb your friends and you don't want to disturb people that are watching a movie, for God's sakes, turn the thing off.
Or just cover.
And you should turn your phone off too.
Yeah, exactly, Craig. And you can also cover it up with your jumper too, of your sleeve as well. That's a good thing too. You can just put on silent and then, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that if you turn down the tactic, whatever they call it, yeah, if you turn it down, it's not noticeable. People aren't going to notice that it's buzzing or anything. I mean, it's not really distracting if you turn the level down on it. And like I say, I really think the best solution, and if you're in a situation where you don't want to be disturbed, you're having lunch with somebody, or you're in a movie theater, or you're in a meeting or whatever, turn the daggone thing off, put it in airplane mode, and you should do the same damn thing with your cell phone. I mean, 40 years ago, we didn't even have a cell phone, right? And people got along. They had a life. Turn the thing off sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. All right, good points, Craig. Ship, good to have you on, mate. Let's go to Bryce. What's your view? Any views on them stories, mate?
Yeah, I thought the talking about Netflix, the Australian Netflix, I don't know if it's improved. I'm using the US version.
No, it hasn't improved at all, mate. I haven't seen anything on there. I've used it for like 10 minutes and that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
as you know, Bryce, I get all my viewing from Foxtel, mate. So
yeah, Foxtel. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I've heard of quite a few people in Australia who like the Australian Netflix, and I haven't used it, so I can't speak from first-hand experience. But I would imagine it wouldn't be that good. I think it would be pretty limited. I'm actually going to try it. That's kind of inspired me to try it, but I'm happy with the US version. It's actually quite good.
Okay.
I'm also looking forward to the 6S because the iPhone 6 is it's a solid phone. I really like it. It's probably their best phone, and I've had every version except for the 5S because that was a pretty poor quality phone. But the 6 is, to me, it's definitely their best phone by far. So I've dropped it many times. It's built extremely well, good performance, good battery. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
And
what did you not like about the 5S?
I just didn't like the quality of it. I mean, I dropped it once by accident in the corner. It took a massive hit. It just I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It used to always drop out. The reception on it wasn't good. I had so many issues. I can't remember them now, but I had a lot of issues with it. Oh, the home button stopped working twice. I got another unit. They replaced it, and it stopped working again.
I guess I just got lucky. I guess I got a good one.
Yeah, the lock button also stopped working, and I had to put the disability mode on to hit it on the screen and lock it. But look, the 6 is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Haven't had one issue with it. It's their best phone by far. But in reference to another story, actually, Google Glass, I completely forgot about it. I actually would have bought it, but
really,
yeah, no, I would have. I thought it was interesting, but I completely I forgot all about it. Just because I haven't.
I'll sell you mine.
Is it good? Did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah, I haven't touched it in like a year, but I liked it though. I'm exaggerating. It's been since July, probably. No, actually, I think the last time I had it on was December. No, to be serious, but yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, I didn't appreciate people looking at me like, what a freak, but it was fun to wear and very useful for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it seemed like a pretty cool concept. I just forgot all about it, to be honest. But that's good.
I think, Jennifer, I think they were just looking at you because you're gorgeous. So it had nothing to do with the Google Glass.
Aww. You're so sweet. Thank you.
But Jen, did you really feel like people were looking at you like with some animosity?
Not with animosity, just with. Now, granted, I live in North Carolina, so just with confusion. Not
like
animosity. What does she have on her face? Because that I'd say most of the people didn't know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, true. All right, Bryce, any other things you want to mention, mate?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's go to Jennifer. What's your view on them story, Jennifer? And I know you're a big fan of TiVo, so is this going to replace your TiVo, or are you going to keep using?
I'm going to continue to use my TiVo. I don't think anything will ever replace my TiVo. I think it's one of the best DVR interfaces of all time. So no, that will not. The HD home run DVR will not replace my TiVo, but I think it's great that they're making one, and I think the more competition there is that's out there, we need that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about Android Auto as well as CarPlay, but I've been reading a lot on Android Auto lately, and I would really love just to replace the entire interface of my car with Android Auto. But granted, I have a lot of Android devices, so that makes sense. And I'm curious, like, how that would work with my iOS device. Probably, I don't know. But so I'm excited about that. I think Honda's doing something good with that, and I would like to see it with more vehicles going forward. And then the first story about the app that tracks the smell of a gas that comes from your rear end and tells you what you ate. That's quite interesting. So, yeah, I don't think I would buy that, but it's interesting.
Who put that story in, Jennifer? Who put that in? Jody did.
Jody.
Yeah,
Jody.
I think the goal of it though is to determine what food you shouldn't eat that's causing the emission. You know.
So it's a good purpose.
Yeah, everybody's digestive system operates differently. So it's like a personalized detective.
Now, yeah. Now, and on another topic, it's interesting though. That's a good, but and then I was just looking at the Xbox One story. I don't have an Xbox One. I just have the 360. But I don't see, even if I wanted an Xbox One, even if I had one, I don't see a need for me to have to turn on my Xbox One if I'm in another room before I get to the
room.
Xbox.
Yeah, true. That's a good point, Jen.
I just don't know. I don't see what the value is. I guess it's nice that you can do it with the app, but I mean...
Yeah, I'm not sure why they added that in. Jacob, do you know why they added that in at all?
No, but I had one problem with it. Well, if you have it on power saver mode, it won't work.
Oh, the Smart Glass app won't work?
No, it'll give you an error message saying this
so
Xbox...
it won't turn it on.
No, what it exactly says, it says you can't find it on the network, or your Xbox is not on instant on mode.
Oh. And it uses more power, I think, to be in instant on mode, right?
Yeah, I keep mine on off completely until I want to use it.
Yeah. I would do the same.
Okay, Jen, any other views on them stories?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's go to Andrew. Andrew, what's your view on them stories, mate?
Yeah, there's a couple interesting stories in there, obviously, with the iPhone 6S being a big upgrade. I mean, as far as it is a big upgrade for sure, I don't know. I just don't like that middle one, the S. I'm finally onto the 6, 7 sort of theory. So, when Google Glass is team hiring, that's great. I think Google Glass is a great product. I think it's where we're going to end up one day, but I think they've just really mismanaged how we've gotten there to date. Obviously, Foxtel and Netflix, they're kind of going head to head. Netflix is a great product, and smelling the future, right? There's probably not much you can say about that, but we're getting pretty fancy with technology these days. So some interesting stories this week, Brad.
All right, good stuff, mate. Let's go to Steve. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, there's a couple of stories interesting with Google Glass. Yeah, we're seeing, I guess, more. They're trying to get more people into the Google Glass project, but I don't see it being for really the end consumer, average person. It's probably going to be for using businesses or something like that, training. So that's I'm guessing that's what they're doing it for.
Okay.
And as far as, I think there was one more. I don't see Xbox One turning it on from another room very interesting. I mean, I just wait until I get into the room and I'm good for that one. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, go on, Steve.
Yeah, I just don't see, downloading an app to do that, pre-warming it up for you or whatever.
You can send voice messages now on the Xbox One, now to 360 owners and Xbox One. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would probably be something more useful.
Which I don't really use. I don't really use the Xbox One much anymore, but I don't know why. But That's a good border. Andrew, you got the new Project Cars. Have you played that yet, mate? He must be away from the computer. Let's go to John. John, what's your view on them stories, mate?
Oh, I mean, the first story definitely proves that there's an app for everything.
There is indeed, yes.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as Netflix, I've always been a big Netflix fan because it's pretty huge over here in the US. But so I'm very interested to see how it does in Australia.
Yeah, well, Netflix in Australia, it's still very new, and we'll have to see what happens. But I take it every person in the US uses Netflix nearly every day. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have statistics or anything, but I mean, I'd say that more people are leaning towards Netflix and online services now than cable TV in the US is starting to shift that way.
Yeah. The Apple TV, talking of the Apple TV, they just added another TV movie streaming app called Stan. That's on the Apple TV now, Andrew.
Oh, is it? That's interesting.
So there's Stan on the Apple TV now, and also the BBC iPlayer, that's being closed down, so that may be coming on the Apple TV too.
I think it's all about experience. I mean, it's so easy to put your credit card, $10 a month, and you can be using these things. You don't have to go out there, organize, get someone to hook it into your house, 12-month subscription.
Interesting. What else, John, you want to say, mate? Any other views in them stories, mate?
No, those are really the only two that stood out. I mean, the Amazon thing is really cool. I mean, especially for people who have short-term memory, it's nice to be able to hit a button and have it on its way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good answers, John. Let's go to Jake. What about you, Jake? Your view on them stories, mate?
Well, the fart one, I would abuse it.
Oh. Yeah. I'm not saying anything else. Go ahead. What else you want to say?
Well, the Xbox One, turning it on remotely, they still have few bugs in it they need to fix.
Well, works fine for me.
Okay.
Me and yeah.
Do you have yours on instant on?
I think I do, yeah.
Mine's on power saver because I don't want to use the power when it's not needed.
Yes, indeed. And also, big thank you for Craig Ship for being on, Craig. Good to have you on, mate.
Hey, good to be here. And
just real quick, have you been on the Google Plus show at all?
I haven't been on for quite a while.
Okay. You're not.
I always, make sure I'm free so that I can be on your show.
Good stuff, mate. And also, make sure you download the Tech Webcast app too, Craig, if you want to listen to the podcast each week, mate.
Absolutely. Your podcast is top notch.
It is indeed, mate. It is indeed. We try and make it top notch.
It's pretty much all that.
And also, when you're on here, it's always that as well.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
Do you agree, Jody and Jennifer?
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love having Craig on.
Absolutely. So it's fantastic.
Checks in the mail.
You've talked me into buying this watch. I'm actually looking while we're on the website of this at the Apple Watch, but I'm still surprised that there's still a back order. Yeah. I'm just even looking at the Sport Edition.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked. I mean, I'm looking at one that I didn't think there'd be a back order for, and it's still. I mean, 6 to 7 weeks.
You know what I think is happening? First of all, they've got problems with production, but I think the main thing is most of the people that have actually gotten watches and are actually using them have had similar experiences to me. A lot of the pundits out there that haven't seen them or just saw them briefly or whatever that have been trashing them, that's not what the real people out in the real world that are actually using these things. I think most of the people that are in the real world actually using them are finding them to be very useful. And so they're telling their friends, and their friends are ordering them. And I bet you they've sold a lot of these watches.
Yeah.
I bet you that's why there's still a backlog.
Brad has even gotten his, and he ordered it the first day, right, Brad?
No, I ordered mine on the 16th of April. I'm still waiting 6 weeks.
Did they charge you for it already, or do they charge it when they ship it?
I bought a gift card for mine, so
okay.
I didn't worry about having the money in my account.
Okay.
They didn't charge me until they shipped.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't charge you. Until they ship it. So yeah, I reckon you should get one, Jen.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
You should. Which one did you get?
I'm looking at the sport. I'm looking at the girly pink one, the sport edition. It's only 400. I say only, but that's the cheapest as you can go. I'm really looking at it for the functionality more so than the glamour of it, So, and it says 6 to 7 weeks.
So okay. You want the 42 millimeter one then?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. You think it'd be too? Because this is a good size.
Yeah, it is a good size, yeah.
It's not too big. It really is.
But you have to try. I reckon you should try it on before you buy it. Personally,
I think I tried. Craig, I put yours on. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
All right, I had his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and my Android watch is similar in size.
And why, Craig? See, what's your view on Android, Craig? Just
well, there's some Android fanboys have been commenting on my watch reviews and saying, how ridiculous it is that you have to charge it every night and all that. Well, first of all, you don't really have to. Mine is on my wrist right now, and I'll tell you what the charge is. The charge is 73%, and it's been on since 7 a.m. this morning. So it's been on, all day and into the evening, and it's still way over half charge. And so, and the bottom line is, I take my watch off at night and set it on my table next to the bed anyway, and the charger's right there. You just set it right on it. It's magnetic. When you get up in the morning, you take it off. It's fully charged. I don't understand why people think it's a big deal that you charge it every night. I charge my phone every night when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I charge my watch? People say, well, you can't track your sleeping and all that. Well, I'm not really going to track my sleeping anyway, but they just nitpick it, right? And they, instead of looking at the great things that it does do, they nitpick little things. And again, I just don't think those are real world users. I think the real world users out there are finding it to be very useful.
Yeah, definitely. John, what's your view on all this? And are you an Apple fan or an Android person?
I personally have Android, but I would prefer Apple. It comes down to a budget thing with me. I've stuck with Android because I really can't afford to make the jump to Apple, but I do think that Apple has better quality products.
Yeah, definitely. I agree on that one. Yeah, definitely. They do.
That's an honest man there.
It is. Indeed, Craig. Yep, indeed. Okay, John, so tell us about what you do, mate, with music and that.
Well, I've basically made it a goal to help indie musicians get heard by new fans. Music has always been mostly a therapy to me because I have a lot of medical problems. I'm actually disabled technically. Okay. So, helping musicians and doing these interviews and trying to help them promote their music, it helps me from the therapy of their music, and it also makes me feel productive and like I'm actually doing something.
Okay, good stuff, John. And any questions, Jennifer?
Yeah. So first of all, I love indie music, and that's everything I listen to is pretty much indie because I'm one of those people. So, and I've always been that way. So how do you find the artists that you discover?
Well, I actually started doing this about 4 years ago. So a lot of it is, the artists have a good experience with me and they tell other musicians and they contact me. I reach out to a lot of musicians. So it's really a combination of everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So some of them find you and they already know about you and come to you. And how do you help to publicize it? So you interview them and you do, is it mainly all audio or do you do video interviews also or no?
Well, I do all the interviews. I actually use Zoom to do the interviews. So they're all video chat interviews. Mm-hmm. I have done, if you know Artists in the Plus, I originally founded it 4 years ago. And then I split from that company and went out on my own. And so I'm kind of starting over from one standpoint. So eventually I will be doing concerts again and stuff like that. But for right now, it's just the interviews until I get everything settled down.
Yeah. Very cool. And I'm on your website. So I see that there's even a place where people can submit music to you. So if they are an indie artist, they can go ahead and put their name in here on the website and let them know that you're interested. That's cool. Very good.
John, how do you end up in this sort of industry? Doing what you do and trying to promote indie and so forth. Where does this start for you?
It's really just my way of giving back to the musicians because the music has helped me so much over the years. In high school, I took radio and television production, but I never went into that field. So I really have no business experience whatsoever. I've learned a lot over the last few years, and I've met some people who do have years of experience that I've learned a lot from. But personally, it's just my way to give back to the musicians.
All right, Steve, any questions?
Yeah, I'm checking out your website now. Actually, I kind of like your profile. I guess you have profiles of different musicians. I like the layout, and then you even have some of the video interviews as well. So I guess there's a way that they can contact your website if they want to put, their profile on there, and then obviously that's a great way of people discovering these indie musicians by putting their profile up there, some of their music, and so on. So can you go into that a little bit more?
Yeah, I have the artist directory there, which I've just started building over the last month and a half. So there's not a lot in there, but there's a few artists in there already. I also do a lot of people over the last 4 years, because I've done so many interviews and helped promote so many musicians. A lot of people really they know they can discover new music when they come to my page. So I also, every month, I do a video playlist of just 10 random videos on YouTube that I think people will enjoy. And so there's a lot of different things I do to try to get the music out there for the musicians.
Actually, I got one more question. For these indie musicians, what are you finding maybe the most, what's the best way that they get discovered? Or is it just more than one thing, or primarily just one? Or how do they put themselves out there where they can be, people can find them, and they can get up a following?
The biggest thing I can advise any of them to do is don't stop believing. And I know that sounds cheesy, but there's so many musicians out there nowadays that you got to be willing to basically learn as you go. What works for the superstars you see on TV isn't going to work for you because you don't already have millions of followers. So it's basically a learning process, and you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't learn the business side of things, you're not going to go anywhere because there's millions of people out there that have that same talent.
All right, good stuff. John, do you know of Hannah Silver at all?
Yes, I've met Hannah a few times, done some hangouts with her. She took part in one of the music festivals I hosted.
Oh, nice one. Okay, what's your view on Hannah Silver, on her music? Do you like her music?
Oh, Hannah's great. Great music, great personality.
Good stuff. She's going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun, Hannah.
She is. Hannah's great. Great girl, Hannah. Let's go to Jody. Have you asked any questions?
I haven't. Thank you for remembering me, Brad.
Jody?
Yeah, I was actually kind of curious. Maybe you can explain this to me. My kids were always telling me how they loved indie music and they followed certain artists. As soon as the artists started to get any kind of notoriety and perhaps radio play, suddenly they felt that artist had sold out. But I thought that was kind of like the goal. You have to start somewhere, but isn't the goal to eventually go commercial? And is that really selling out? Maybe you can explain that to me, because I couldn't understand it.
Well, it depends on your definition of selling out. In a lot of cases, they're selling their soul when they get those deals. Most musicians nowadays actually do prefer to stay independent or sign with a smaller independent label. These record deals and everything, it's not like in the 80s where you're going to get a big fancy mansion and drive around in these expensive cars. And even most of those musicians barely made anything by the time the record companies take their percentages out. So it's really hard to make money when you get those big deals. And some artists get signed and they just sit and do nothing for 2 or 3 years because the company can't decide what they want to do with them. So in a lot of ways, it's better to basically take control of your own career and your own destiny and try to do everything on your own. But it's not very easy to do that.
All right, good answer, John and Jody. Jody, good question. Let's go to Jacob real quick. Jacob, what's your question? Because we need to wrap up very soon, mate.
Well, all I have to say is I have to start listening to your music. Selections that you have on your site.
Good stuff, Jacob. And John, what's your view on Spotify and the streaming music services?
I mean, I just wish they could come up with a system where the artists can actually make more money. It's even them. I mean, you get thousands of plays and you don't even make a penny. So it'd be nice to have something, but I know they have to make money too. So
yeah,
it's kind of a hard balance.
Yeah, I'm really loving the iTunes radio where they have feature albums where you can preview the album before it comes out, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if you've seen that or not. Have you seen that at all, John? Or?
I haven't checked that out yet. I've been hearing a lot about the new service that they want to come out with, the streaming service.
Yeah.
I really like the idea how they're kind of teasing that they're going to put like a social platform mixed in with that, which I think
that'd be cool.
Be really good for musicians.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Bryce, what about you, mate? Any questions for John before we go?
I don't have any questions, but I think it's pretty cool what you're doing, and it sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Sounds very interesting. Okay, John, where can they get hold of you, and if you want to ask any more questions, mate?
I mean, the website is johnvoshell.com.
Yep.
You can find me on Google+. I'm even on that other network still, Facebook. I'm on Twitter, so I'm everywhere. I'm easy to find.
Good stuff, buddy. Good to have you on, John. Come back on your time, John, if you want to come and chat and stuff and whatever. You actually I was actually looking for a guest, and you actually came to me and said you wanted to be on. So, yeah, it's good.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Mate. Good to have you on. Bryce, what's your final view of the show, and where can they get hold of you, mate?
Hey, yeah, it was a good show. Really interesting. People can get hold of me on Twitter. I don't really use it, but BILSTA57. And also YouTube under the same name, which I also don't use, but yeah.
All right. What have you been doing with your time? Because you're not doing any videos anymore. What have you been up to?
Yeah, just personal stuff, just stuff offline.
But, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's cool, mate. Have you got the IQ3 yet?
No, I keep forgetting because I don't watch Foxtel much anymore.
Oh, there's no point getting it then if you don't watch it.
Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 boxes, but I don't watch it much anymore.
Yeah, that's the point. People go and buy this sort of stuff and they don't watch it, and then do they complain about, how much it is and that sort of thing. If you're not gonna watch it, don't get it on.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Sure.
Andrew, what's your final view of the show? And have you got Foxtel on yet?
Not as yet, Brad. No, it's been a fantastic show, and it's been great to have Ballista and Craig and John on. It's been a busy show, actually.
It indeed, mate.
But it's been really great to hear about the indie scene from John and to hear what Craig's up to, and obviously talk a bit about the Apple Watch. So it's been a lot of fun, and unfortunately, Brad, I bring the news that I'm going to have to jump out of the show as a regular host and move into a favourites co-host from time to time. I think.
Good, mate. All good.
Yeah, life is a bit busy.
Yep.
My son turned 1 this week, and work's been busy, so it's been quite a ride for the last couple of years, I guess. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to jump out and just be a co-host from time to time. So appreciate everything you guys have done, and to all of the listeners out there for positive feedback and comments and things. It's been a ride and a lot of fun.
No problem, mate. Good to have you on for the past, I don't know how long time.
Been a couple of years, I think. It racks up quick.
It does indeed. And also, just look out for Andrew's reviews too. He's been doing some reviews very shortly with the...
Yeah, I have. I've got a new one coming with a very premium headset for Bose, Brad. So we all love Bose equipment.
Nice.
And, there is a Bose review, which will be in the next week or so.
And how much were they, Andrew? What was the value of them? $390?
They're about $400, $450 retail, somewhere in that vicinity. Noise cancelling, I think it's QC25. So... if you are looking for a premium headset, there's a couple of thoughts around that.
Yep.
Mostly positive, but a couple of negatives as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's all good to have some negative stuff in the reviews, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And also, just want to mention Foxtel Play Review 2 coming soon too. Very soon.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Not sure how soon, but from you as well.
Yeah, correct.
So David actually hooked us up with a Foxtel Play account. Thanks, mate, for being on. Appreciate your time, Andrew.
No worries at all. And if you want to grab me, I'm on Facebook and Twitter as Cunning Drew, and you can see me on there or grab the Zarfo or Rewind app. Good stuff, mate. You can get me on Twitter at Brad Odds on a Tech Webcast. Jennifer, what's your final view of the show, and what do you want to say to Andrew?
Fantastic show. Andrew, you're the best, and I'm going to miss you, but I hope that you can hop on from time to time, and I'm sure you will. But Miles needs his daddy, so go be the awesome father you are on the weekends, and we will survive, but you will be missed, and you're welcome back at any time.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And people can find me online at jenniferruggiero.com. All of my links are there.
Good stuff, Jennifer. And when's your podcast coming back?
I know, right? You ask me every weekend, I'm like, oh, it's coming. No, honest to God, it really is coming back this Thursday. And Paul Carey's going to be on from Hawaii.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's joining us from Hawaii. So I'm looking forward to hearing what his thoughts are on the United States and, his comparison. I know he wanted to go into a Best Buy and an Apple store and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see what he has to say.
That'd be interesting to listen to, and we'll try and get him on as well, to get his views as well on the.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Jody. What's your final view on the show, and what do you want to say to Andrew?
Oh, I think it was a great show. Had a lot of fun. I always have fun with you guys, great intellectual banter. What do I want to say to Andrew? Andrew, you have added so much incredibly to the show. And I appreciate and understand that, your family must come first. So whenever you can sneak away and come back on, absolutely, please do. Like I said, you add so much to the show, and you're just an awesome host. So we will miss you. You will be missed.
It sounds like
I really appreciate that, Jody. That's very lovely. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, and your mom can come anytime too.
She will, don't worry.
We love Bev.
Yeah, Bev's cool. Yeah, Bev's great.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jacob. What about you, mate?
It's always a fun time on the show. We always have the best guest and the best people putting out the news for the week.
Well, exactly, mate. What you want to say to Andrew?
We don't want you to
go. He actually hasn't left for good. He's just going to be on time. He hasn't left for good. We don't make a big deal out of it, but he hasn't left for good. But
No, I haven't. Just not permanent.
No, not permanent. No, he's not permanent. No.
No, we would like you to stay full time, but you have other responsibilities. So keep on and keep giving.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right. Where can they get hold of you, Jacob?
Jazzbot1Z. Jazzbot 32669 1Z.
Good stuff.
I forgot half of it.
Say it again.
Jazzbot 32669 1Z.
That's better. Make sure you talk clear next time. Steve, what about you, mate?
Oh, great show with very interesting news, and it's kind of sad to see Andrew not be on every week. But it happens. I understand. Everybody gets really busy with family and work and everything else. But it's good that he's going to be back occasionally, so at least we have that. And you can find me on Twitter as chatterbox_live.
All right, good stuff, Steve. What about Craig Shipp?
I'll tell you, without Andrew, I'm done. I'm not listening to this podcast anymore.
Oh, no.
That's it. Tech Webcast, it was the best, but without Andrew.
I'm glad you're speaking the truth, Craig. Someone should.
I got to be straight with you. That made the podcast, and, Brad, you got to figure something out. You got to get the guy back.
What can I do, mate? I can't,
Nah, he's doing the right thing. He's got to take care of the little one, and he'll be back. And I'm sure that the podcast will be epic. Just not quite as epic.
Exactly. It will be epic. Yeah. It's always epic. What else? Who else? John, what about you?
Well, no, I just thank you for having me on. I had a really good time, and I wish you guys the best of luck in the future.
All right, good stuff. Jake, have I missed anyone at all?
No.
Okay. I don't think so. I think you're good.
Good stuff. All right, thanks.
You, Brad.
You can get me on Twitter at Brad on Tech Webcast. That's it. And Andrew, thanks for being on, mate. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Brad, and I'll see you guys on here again soon, I'm very sure.
Are you eating?
You're making me hungry.
My lunch came here. What can I say? I've been looking at my lunch for 10 minutes. I'm eating it now.
What are you eating?
Way to call him out. That's so funny.
What are you eating?
What are you eating? Tomato and cheese toasty.
Oh, yum. Okay. Good.
Tomato. I love it.
Tomato. And also, we're going to send Jody some Vegemite chocolate.
Yes, absolutely.
Have you seen that?
Vegemite chocolate.
It's happened. They've done it. It
Yes.
exists.
Oh, that's awful. No, I can't eat Vegemite. Don't.
Oh, that's right. You
do it.
can't. That's right. You can't. That's right. Yeah. What about you, Jennifer? Can you eat Vegemite?
I've never had it, so I don't know.
Okay, we should.
I don't know, but according to Chris Voss, though, I don't think I can. From what I.
Very
you know
brave.
what, Jen? It's full of monosodium glutamate.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to monosodium glutamate. I wanted to try it in the worst way, but I can't do it. I don't know if you're allergic, but
Well, she's allergic because she's too American. Because you Americans can't eat it.
What about Tim Tams?
I had some Tim Tams. They're awesome. They're very good.
Okay, and Jake.
But I don't want you to spend money on sending that to me though. You just save your money. Well, I'm on a constant diet. I'm trying to get to I don't know, like supermodel status.
You always
here,
size -0.
Exactly.
Wow.
Jacob, tell Jody and Jennifer what you seen the other day on FaceTime at the supermarket.
Oh, I forgot.
Tim Tams?
What was it, Brad?
I don't know what it was. I showed you something. It said you wanted me to send it to you.
Tim Tams? No.
Oh, it was the Nature's Confection gummies.
That's it. They're nice, Em. Best. They're the best.
I've had one of them. The dinosaurs.
Yeah, definitely. They're nice.
It's pretty good.
They're indeed.
They taste like real jelly.
They do indeed. Yes. They
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
What's that?
They're all natural.
I think we've jumped the shark.
We have. Okay, I'm going to go. Thanks for being on, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Tech Webcast. The hosts and guests are unsurpassed. Tech Webcast. 'Cause technology, it moves so fast. Tech Webcast. Ha, stick around and you're gonna have a blast. Yeah! Tech Webcast. Ha, ha. Tech Webcast. Big ups to Andrew, to Brad, Jody, Steve, and Jennifer.